Oh god, the cat loaf is unresponsive. Oh no.
Okay,
Cat
there you
loaf, are
go.
you okay?
Thank you, Sophie, for the $5 for the dentist. I will fix
Oh
my...
shit, where'd cat loaf go? Oh, there you are. Cat loaf. Oh, hi
Oh,
Lucy.
hello. How do I... How do I kneel?
You can crouch by using C, and you can crawl by using Z.
There you go, I
Or if
crouch.
you're on VR, you crawl and crouch by just doing it in real life.
What? Oh, yeah.
But you're
Oh my
not,
god.
so... That cat loaf is so precious, though. Like,
Okay.
also, did you notice like the whites of my eyes are actually green?
Oh. Well,
Here, I'll
there are
get up to
people
your
that
level.
get tattoos like that.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, but like I painted this avatar myself.
I see.
I think I made it 5'5" as well, because
Okay,
you know it's my height.
so... Who has a Vosh bad video?
Yeah,
Fess up.
because we kind of
We
fumbled that.
need...
I'm sorry.
We need content.
I really thought that this would be like covering new ground.
I cannot believe you.
Yes, Maj or Major. I am the Joker, except it's woman Joker, so it's
Maya
the
Maya.
woker. I will teach you pronouns. Why so pronoun? Batman. I don't. We should. Right. Echo problem.
Oh.
We should probably just be in using proximity chat now. Now that we're both in the same instance. Yeah. So I'll mute or even hang up. What should I do? Should I mute or hang up?
I... You can... I guess you can hang up?
Okay.
Oh, who's this? Jesse Gender is speaking, but I cannot hear. I cannot hear. I cannot hear anything. What an uncomfortable close-up. I guess that's a thing you can only do in VR chat. That's a pretty new way of watching videos, isn't it? I cannot hear the video. That's a problem, isn't it? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, wait. I think that's my... Okay. Now I can... Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, turn on the video again. Let me see if I can hear it.
She used to have an abusive
Okay, there we
husband, I
go.
believe, didn't
Is that good?
she?
Yeah, it's
And
good.
like for those reasons,
Okay, now I
Okay.
can...
So I guess we're just recovering old ground with like a new person. Like we said. I mean, unless someone.
No, I had the
like,
game.
video-
It's a game, and I had the game sound set to minimum.
Yeah, she didn't have herself muted. I could hear her. But yeah,
Okay, so...
if no one has another video, I guess we'll just recover the same old ground.
No! We need a new video. Somebody, please.
Cat at gunpoint, so they give us more links. I'm very good at tax of it. No, that's not it. Warcraft no.
Please give us a video.
Being gay, yes, but like that's not relevant currently. Kissing women, no, that's the same thing. Being gay. Freddy Fazbear. No, it's not it either.
Oh my god. Jump scare. What if we go for a Keffels bed video? That's good. Give us a Keffels bed video.
What? I mean, yeah, it's kind of just a genre at this point. Just like
Okay, give us a Keffels bed video. That's good.
debate streamers.
Give us a noodles video for that matter.
a Think Noodles video? Isn't he like a children's YouTuber?
No, a video about why noodles are racist.
Oh shit, yeah.
So a
I've
careful.
actually been wanting to see the context behind
Oh?
that meme.
Okay, we've got it. I'm gonna DM.
We
Oh,
do?
wait, you see, Maya Mayor send us a
I mean,
link,
it
so
can
you
be
take
used,
it.
the video player can be used by anyone, so,
You can?
so you could just like, you could just paste it in and, yeah.
Okay,
That could
then
work.
where is the URL?
It's below the timeline.
What do I press? Oh my god, nothing's
Oh,
working.
you click? You
What do I
left
click? I'm using a controller.
So you click,
Oh, okay, that worked.
you
Okay,
click
link.
this bar right here.
Who is that on screen? Clumsy24.
What?
You're Clumsy24, aren't you?
I think it's actually really misogynistic
Yeah,
that
oh,
people can't
shoot.
take me
Careful.
on my own
It's
and
a careful, holy
evaluate
shit.
my own opinions.
I love Keffel. Oh shoot, did I I'm sorry,
Yes,
I meant
you
to
have.
pause. This happened last time too. It's
Yes,
way
it happened,
later.
but it's okay, it's just the beginning. That's a really interesting
sorry.
way to phrase it. People cannot take me on my own. Can you restart it?
Keffel is so cool. I'd like to talk to her someday. I think it'd be fun
I see.
to talk to her about like spaghetti. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry, Ken.
Although the whole Brianna Wu thing was not a very good moment. But okay.
But yeah, seriously, I think she would be pretty cool to talk to. I
Uh,
also need to change my group because I think mine is all.
okay, what the... Okay, I'm just gonna insert this again.
I think it's actually really misogynistic that people can't take me on my own and evaluate my own opinions, and instead they bring up Vosh and then they assume that I'm some sort of carbon copy of Vosh.
True.
Where, as a woman, I am not allowed to have any agency in this. I'm not allowed to have my own opinions.
she's
Apparently, I need to be in lockstep with Vosh, and that's
True.
not true. I disagree with Vosh on
Everybody needs to be in lockstep with Vosh. Yeah, I feel a bit distrustful of her
Yeah.
after the Brianna Wu situation, but at the same time, I feel like she's kind of being taken advantage of by Wu. There's a...
Yeah. Pepples has it rough, just, yeah. But hey, she's also, like, from what I know, fully transitioned, which, like, I envy that quite a bit. Don't know how that's relevant, but, yeah.
a lot of politics. We're not the same people.
Oh, okay, we can watch it at some
The
point.
first thing I want to go over is this Mary Sue article.
Oh,
my God, there are
elephant.
people in the chat who have not
Elephant.
heard about this article. So, found out about this article while I was still bedridden with COVID while I was on my trip to the US. And as a result of all this, someone had to explain what
I'm
Noodlegate
sorry.
is to Ro Khanna. So my reputation really precedes me at this point. Yes, tipster, that's real. That's an actual thing. A congressman now knows about Noodlegate. So let's just go through this. Framing Keffels as the face of trans resistance has allowed her racism to stay unchallenged. A reign of terror.
Oh my gosh.
Just like starting this off.
A
feel
reign
like
of
this
terror.
is incredibly
That's a good
melodramatic.
Keffel's bed
But
video.
also,
Could you pause for
I
a
am
sec?
not the face of trans resistance. You know, I don't know where that narrative...
Yes, sorry.
Racism is when an Italian person talks about noodles.
That's
You
true.
know, a thing that is famously Italian.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not used to not being able to pause. This hasn't happened since like 2 collabs ago.
alright, let's go. I'm gonna continue.
narrative came from. And I don't like this consistent thing that happens where people build me up and place me into a role that I never claimed, and then they attack me from the position.
True. True. Lucy Haze is the
Would you
face
say I
of
was right?
trans resistance, even if Lucy Haze is not
Oh,
is
it's
an
Heze.
unprominent streamer.
What would that pronunciation of H be? Like the semi-soft pronunciation? Like the
Haze.
really hard pronunciation?
I'm sorry, what?
The it's like an H sound, but like
But it's,
elongated.
it doesn't have to be elongated.
The long H sound.
You can say it short. You can say it quickly. Haze.
I wouldn't say it's really lesbian writing. Oh, Keffel's background, not where we are.
Right.
I'm a bit
My
stupid.
fail. Okay, let's unpause.
That they themselves put me in. But let's get into this article. In summer 2022, Twitch streamer Clara Sorrenti, aka Keffels, was featured on the Washington Post and other places as a doxing and swatting campaign coordinated against her on the anonymous forum Kiwi Farms got increasingly dangerous. So the first thing that's interesting is that the link to the Washington Post article is literally the profile of me by Taylor Lorenz that happened months before any of the stuff with Kiwi Farms happened. It actually has nothing to do with any of the swatting, any of the doxing, any of the things that happened after it. The framing for this article is very disingenuous, but let's keep going into this. Bigot
Reign of
shared her
Terror.
home address and even a hotel she took shelter in. This backlash came because Sorrenti dedicated several hours a day to streaming commentary on anti-trans and LGBTQ plus laws and ratioing transphobes on Twitter. Yes. Great sourcing doing Know Your Meme. The journalistic integrity
Know Your
is
Meme.
10 out of 10. While many people aware of the situation gave sympathy to her, a small murmur
Listen, I don't even have a Know Your Meme or whatever.
Know Your Meme is such a weird website.
I don't have
Like, does
anything.
anyone seriously use it? I swear.
I don't think anyone wrote anything on me. Oh no, wait. People discussed me briefly on the Kiwi Farms, saying that
What?
I sound like a... he said that I sound like a Filipino. No. They said I sound like some sort of like Taiwanese
Oh,
smoke
right.
chainer,
They were-
and that
was when
I
you had your like old voice training.
and that I make my voice obviously with a voice changer to be anime.
Did you though? That seemed pretty real. Just
No,
kind of
it
like
was not a
overly
no.
high pitched.
It wasn't high. It wasn't high pitch. It was high. It was M2. It was falsetto.
Oh yeah. I mean that is what falsetto means. High pitched.
No. Pitch is something
That's
separate.
very unconscious.
But it was not pitch. It was, oh my god, resonance, I guess.
You sounded a lot more pitchy.
But yeah, we were talking about Keffels.
But that's not really a reason to dislike,
Yeah.
or a valid reason to dislike you, though I had seen it from,
Well,
well,
it doesn't
the people who
change the fact
made
just
me
that the
leave short
article.
quotes several times.
Oh, the article is very strange. So we're looking at it from this perspective. The article is very strange still. But yeah, I understand what you
Why
mean,
do
Jess.
people distrust Keffels in your chat? I'm so confused.
Because of the Brianna Wu situation.
I'm gonna need some context, I guess, because
You don't know anything about that?
I barely know anything.
When Kefo
The
said
gist
that.
I got was Brianna would
Oh my gosh, that's a really long story. Like but people basically are disappointed with her defending Brianna when giving credence to transmedical stakes. Apparently, she made a new video about this whole thing, which I have not seen yet. But let's just say that Kafus has lost the trust of a lot of people.
did not know that.
Sorry?
I did not know that.
Watch the Demon Mama video on it. It gives a good rundown on the whole thing. Exactly. Clumsy24. Watch the Demon Mama video on the whole thing. Which I actually reacted to. And Demon Mama was in the chat when I did. Okay, let's go.
Murmur of critics expressed frustration, often cryptically, that the violence towards Sorrenti positioned her as a martyr. They alleged that she frequently attacked POC in a way that fell just short of doxing. Sorrenti and her fans accused these critics of trying to sow distrust on behalf of Kiwi Farms. However, since then, she's been caught doing just that and a lot more. There's absolutely no citation in this entire paragraph. I have never attacked people of color in a way that fell just short of doxing. I've never doxed anyone before. I think it's also weird with the framing that me being the target of far-right attacks is somehow something that you can twist in a way
It's
to
VR
criticize
chat.
me for. To continue on with this, Sorrenti's racism, especially towards black and Asian people, ableism, and even transphobia could fill a book. However, it's more useful to dive into just a few examples and show how she dual wields the language of social justice and the alt-right to cause harm on the very people she claims to be an advocate for, that the accusations of false flags trying to break solidarity between marginalized...
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
She wields
the person, she's saying it.
Justice and alt-right.
You don't have to read it out
like,
loud. She's saying
like,
it.
Oh, I was just clarifying which part I was talking about. Like, that seems more like something someone would say about Ariel Scarcella, because...
Right.
Yeah, she says, oh, trans women aren't women because something like, what does that even mean? That's just bull crap.
Yeah, Brianna was just...
Seems more like something to describe Ariel Scarcella.
Right. Brianna was not very good. It's pretty bad, actually. That's why we have our sign. We love our non-binary siblings, okay?
Yes, we do.
Because Brianna hates our non-binary siblings. Okay, let's go.
Groups is nothing compared to her actions. Okay, wait. They're literally saying that my actions are worse than a far-right psyop against the entirety of the LGBTQ community. Not giving any citation on how that's the case. Meanwhile, Sorrenti masks her own bigotry under the guise of edgy humor for progressive causes and de-radicalizing the youth. And I had to pause for a sec because I also don't know where de-radicalizing the youth comes from. I don't think I've never made content where I am explicitly saying I am trying to de-radicalize people. Right. Did they reach out to you for comments before publishing? No, they didn't. The best place to start is the recent harassment of writer and anti-rape activist Rosalind Tallison. So to the people who don't know, Rosalind Tallison is the lady who said, why did a white woman make a cookbook about dumplings and noodles? And it is this noodle drama that has followed me for 2 entire years, just
Oh.
continuously coming up over and over
Noodles.
again. So they're starting with Rosalind Tallison, not just because it shows a lot of the same patterns of behavior altogether, but because this came after she got
Well, the Wu defense from Jefferson actually deserves criticism, and that's why I don't trust that snake. Oh my gosh. But this article is so...
treatment.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Who's Jefferson?
Oh,
Like Thomas Jefferson?
no.
What? Miku binder, etc.
Okay, let's go.
For substance abuse in the spring of this year. Okay, so they pulled up the
What a
My Struggle
pause.
with Addiction video.
What a
I don't know
pause
what
that
me
was.
seeking help for substance abuse issues has to do with any of this. It feels like this is just a way to discredit me because, well, a lot of people who call themselves progressives
Careful,
and say
sis,
that
what I
they're
meant,
on
but
the
I'll
left
correct
are
them.
very against ableism. They absolutely hate drug addicts. Like, they despise drug addicts, and for a lot of them, they feel like drug addicts are one of the groups that they're still allowed to be ableist against. After weeks of public hateful tirades on
Sorry, did you say something?
Ableism is bad, except for when people who do drugs are being ableist. Ableism.
Right.
Like,
On
that's
social
what I imagine.
media at the start of the
But yeah,
year,
that is
Sorrenti pulled a Roseanne
serious.
Barr by claiming her behavior was the result of a cocaine addiction. I think it's a really weird comparison, but I actually want to see what... Okay, so they're saying that I
Oh.
blamed my behavior on cocaine addiction, and then they link a Sportskeeda article, which basically claims that
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That screenshot they used of her making her look so old. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know.
I actually cannot hear you when you just quietly say something when the video is playing. Okay, let's
I'm
continue.
sorry, yeah, you should get out of your spot.
I stole $100,000 to buy cocaine, which is an insane claim. That is Pablo Escobar level.
You should give me $100,000 to go to the dentist. I'd have the best teeth in the
Lucy, I
world.
already told you I do not have
Not,
money.
I'm talking to the audience. Oh my god.
I
I'm not
guess,
just
I
talking
guess.
to you.
I know, I'm joking.
Okay, let's continue.
Levels of cocaine, and I also think it's really weird that she's citing a tabloid where the actual source for this rumor goes back to a Chud Logic clip. So it's just like streamer drama, and there's no actual source for any of this. To go back to this article, a few weeks after logging back online, she came swinging with the same vile bigotry, this time directed towards Taliesin.
Chad
And
mentioned.
we got this here, popularizing racist dog whistles.
Oh my gosh.
So, the context here, before I read any of these, I just want to give you all the context.
Yes,
I had
please.
just made a Blue Sky account,
Yeah.
and I was learning how to cook noodles.
Yes?
Okay, so this one right down here, I can't point right now. I'm not in VR mode.
Yeah.
This.
What?
Why would you cite this one?
Which one?
This is obviously like the one, like a third one, or
Which one?
uh,
Read it out.
This one.
You can read it out.
Noodles are tasty. Woman is a slur. It's transphobic to call it a period. It's a man weird. Like that.
Oh
That
my
is
god.
just like obvious satire of like what like anti-woke people think,
Right.
quote unquote woke people talk about or like think like or whatever.
Mm.
Like, why would you cite this? That's not a racist dog whistle. That's just a thing I probably would have liked back when I didn't have a banned account. Why am I just moving so much?
Cancel the unofficial
Hands
thing.
off the keys. Did
Interesting.
none of that come through? I'm sorry.
Okay, let's unpause.
And
Why
I
the
was ship
pencil?
posting on my Blue Sky account about noodles because I was having a good time making noodles. This wasn't directed at literally anyone, but let me just read you all this. I have gathered what I need. When I awake, it is time to make tasty noodles from the Why Did a White Woman Make a Cookbook About Dumplings and Noodles cookbook. I will report on my findings.
That's a dog
Noodles
whistle.
are tasty. Woman is a slur. It's transphobic to call it a period. It's a man-riad. Finally feeling up for cooking again after dealing with chronic health issues, so I hope you are ready for more noodle posting. Apparently, some people are mad at me for cooking noodles, but considering it was only in February I was cooking crack, I say this is a huge improvement.
Oh my
This is
goodness.
referring to
Yeah.
the Blue Sky Global Block List. I was apparently number 4 yesterday, but if you believe statements like noodles are tasty is a racist dog whistle, or Keffels is racist because she added the Italian flag colors to the pride flag, you are brain dead and I don't want to interact with you. So it's just weird. Like, none of these are dog whistles. I'm literally shit posting about noodles while I'm learning how to cook noodles.
Yeah,
So
shit
the article
posting is
continues
cool.
on. Taliesin has been harassed over the years for a number of issues. However, the one Sorrenti decided to wade back into as part of her comeback to
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, noodles or not noodles. Yeah, shit posting is cool as long as it's like not hurting anyone, which
Alright.
these tweets are not
Okay.
at all.
Alright,
who
let's
are
go.
from drug treatment is among the worst. It's very weird how they have to keep mentioning, by the way, Keffels went to rehab. Because they are absolutely trying to like
So weird.
elicit a reaction in the reader that, oh, Keffels is just a drug addict and drug addicts are evil. In 2021, Taliesin made a passing comment on X, formerly Twitter, about a white chef's book about Asian cuisine.
Speaking of drug addicts, have you or any of the audience heard of the book or movie We Children from the Zoo train station?
I have not.
Has anyone in the audience heard of the book We Children from the Zoo train station? Okay, so it's like I think it takes place in the 70s or something. I have to actually look. It's a book
Lucy,
about.
are you aware your avatar is doing an angry face right now?
Oh, it's okay. I'm always angry.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Me too then, I guess.
let's see. I'm gonna look it up. It takes place in the
Yeah,
year
your face cam isn't showing, by the way.
70. Oh, that's okay. For now, at least, that's okay. The camera seems to have. Oh. Let me see. The camera has just died or something. Oh no, I have to activate it. That's weird. Okay, that's. So, the book takes place in 1970. 1970s, I assume. Yes, the action takes place in 1975 to 1977. It's about a young girl that, due to, let's just say, social economic situation, turns to drugs and then turns to sex work to get more drugs.
Sounds like a pretty unfortunate situation or set of circumstances, I guess.
Yes. It's actually based on real events, and some years ago
Oh no.
the main character of that book actually lost custody of her child because she sort of relapsed into addiction.
Oh no. That's too bad.
I actually read this book in primary school, which is probably not a book that I should be reading in, I don't know, second, third grade. But
Hey,
you
I
know.
don't know. I mean, like, it's probably still better education than American schools.
Then what?
Than American schools.
I mean, no, I read it on my own. I did.
I
It
was
was
just
not.
starting to learn
It was.
cursive
It
when I was
was.
in third grade.
It was not a book in school. It was a book that I read on my own when I was that age. Hello,
Oh.
Boogie.
Oh shoot, baby. Oh, why did I look that side?
Okay, let's continue.
Like with my own. That's why did I do that?
Paired with screenshots of the chef and her book, Taliesin wrote, "Why did a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and noodles?" People who roll their eyes at the phrases cultural appropriation and systemic racism in publishing attacked Taliesin online. Unbeknownst to Taliesin at the time, this included Sorrenti. Okay, wait. I have to stop for a second, and I need everyone to know that me attacking Rosalind online was literally a quote tweet that said, "Because dumplings and noodles are tasty." That
Oh
was
my
the
God.
beginning and the end
Boogie,
of
you're white.
Talison's tweets was passed around racist forums, and people made up lies about the author's background to prop up against Talison's query. So, okay, this is actually true. There was a thing going around at the time that Pippa Middlehurst was adopted by Asian parents, and that's actually not true. I don't think that people needed to come up with that in order to justify her making this cookbook in the first place.
True.
She didn't do anything wrong. She just made a cookbook. People pried into Rosalind's personal life in a way not unlike many other writers of color have faced when expressing an opinion online that challenges white supremacy. In addition to making the book she criticized into a bestseller on Amazon, they used phrases relating to noodles as a dog whistle against her, like "noodles are tasty."
Oh my
This
God,
allowed
that's
them
a
to
dog
harass
whistle?
her in plain sight while seemingly making an innocuous, reasonable statement. So, "noodles are tasty" originates from me, and they decided after the fact that it was a dog whistle, and now
How does that
anyone who
even work?
says it is doing a dog whistle. When the only time this ever comes up, it's to mock the fact that this drama has been going on longer than like any online drama I can think of in the last several years. I don't think anyone is saying noodles are tasty.
Like, there's real criticism
Yeah,
of capitalism.
what would
People
that
only care
even-
about this jibber jabber. True. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. If noodles were tasty, or if noodles are tasty was a dog whistle, what is it supposed to mean?
Well, according to them, it's supposed
Because
to
last
mean
I
that.
checked,
Yeah.
that doesn't. Because like last I checked, it's just like a surface level statement.
I see. Okay, let's go.
As a way to disparage Asian people. I have nothing but respect for Asian people and the Asian community. It is also
Once a
interesting.
giggler, always
So
a giggler.
the
Thank
racist
you, Boogie.
forums. I
Thank you.
decided to
Sometimes
do my
you see
homework
outside
on this,
now.
and Rosalind had a total of 2 4chan threads about her that was about 80 comments total between both of them, and like a good third of that at least was anti-Semitism towards Pippa Middlehurst, because the Nazis on 4chan were convinced that she was Jewish, and this is something that never gets talked about. Rosalind has managed to position herself as the sole victim of all of this. When Pippa was harassed so much,
Yeah.
she ended up deleting her Twitter account and leaving the platform entirely.
A lot of
So going back
anti-Semitism.
to this, they use phrases relating to noodles as a dog whistle against her, like "noodles are tasty." This allowed them to harass her in plain sight while seemingly making an innocuous, reasonable statement. It's not unlike people commenting well under posts of people of color, religious minorities, and LGBTQ plus people participating in mundane activities linked to a stereotype. The article ended up including the banner for Catboy Ranch. This is just goofy. Don't get me.
Yes.
Never knew the well thing was like a dog whistle. I always thought it was just like, I don't know.
I will
I know
admit
from,
I'm
like-
not familiar with that one either, but you know.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
only
know it all.
like a well meme from like 2016 when I was a kid, like which wasn't that
Well is an
at
actual
all.
dog whistle. What does it mean?
Yeah, what
Jess,
does it
tell me
mean?
what does it mean? I'm actually unfamiliar.
Oh, I think it says it right here
No, it doesn't.
on the screen.
It doesn't. It just says that it's used. It's a really dumb racist one that's kind of dumb. I see. Maybe that's why I'm
That narrows
unfamiliar.
it down.
Okay, I'm gonna continue, and if Jess explains, I will read it out.
Alright.
Get me wrong. Dog whistles are a real thing. If you are observant of people on the far right for any amount of time, you're very familiar with dog whistles. But this isn't a dog whistle. The point of people saying noodles are tasty is to laugh at a really benign online drama. It's not to disparage Asian people whatsoever. I have not actually engaged with Rosalind. We have not interfaced. I have not talked to her.
Interface.
The only time that I ever say her name is when people decide to resurrect the noodle drama again. A year later, Taliesin saw that Sorrenti had joined the dogpiling with the new context of who she is. Taliesin screen capped, not tagging or quote tweeting Sorrenti's noodles tweet with the caption, "Quite interesting indeed." Sorrenti found this tweet in less than a day. Under the delusion that Taliesin was looking for attention, Sorrenti decided to make Taliesin's life a living hell once more. So this is me in a back and forth with Rosalind. She obviously has me blocked. You dug up a tweet that was over a year old only because I have a large platform now because you wanted to farm clout off of your shitty discourse brain takes. There were literally tens of thousands of people who weighed in on that discourse last year. The only reason she's going after me now is because my platform is 10 times larger and she can make people pay attention to her again by getting into a spat with me over it. And then I invited her onto my stream, which I'm still very much willing to talk to her if she ever wants to.
I see.
People get this idea in their head that I just want to epically debate people, but I very much just want to understand where people are coming from and be able to have a dialogue.
I will
I
epically
kind of have
own
stopped
people,
inviting people
debate
on
people.
when they have an issue with me because they react to the idea of talking to me on a public forum like I am setting them up and that this is going to lead to some sort of insane harassment campaign when I legitimately just want some dialogue on this topic. But yeah, I don't think that I made her life a living hell by engaging in online discourse. From June 2022
I
to
see.
now, Sorrenti posted a variation of that dog whistle dozens of times, not including times during live broadcasts. This includes reigniting and popularizing variations of the
Noodles.
phrase on Twitter alternative Blue Sky. Her fans made graphics and emotes for her stream, making the racist harassment of Taliesin a community in-joke, just like the others who began this 2 years earlier. Some, like Sorrenti, are the same people. The noodle jokes aren't about her. Yeah, noodles are tasty is definitely a community in-joke in this community. Part of the reason that it's so funny is because people won't let this go. They're willing to write entire screeds trying to prove desperately that noodles are tasty.
Hot take maybe. Keffels is currently in a similar situation that Vosh is. Both have legitimate criticism that can be discussed, but everyone focuses on minuscule and even downright false things that any real criticism aren't even taken that seriously. I think that's accurate, Boogie.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's accurate. I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a reasonable take.
That's kind of just the facts, yeah.
Tasty is a dog whistle. Dog whistles are generally supposed to have some kind of subtle political message. I'd love to know what political message they think you're
That's what
sending.
I said.
I don't know. I have no idea exactly where they think the racism comes in with the phrase noodles are tasty. After years of people calling out Sorrenti's racism for referring to an Asian woman as noodles, I never did this. I have never referred to anyone
What?
as noodles before. Her friend
I'm a
and
noodle.
fellow white woman
I'm a duck
Brianna Wu
noodle.
used the
Fellow
past
white
theory
woman.
with Sorrenti. Wu claimed that it wasn't racist to call Taliesin noodles because her Asian husband said it was okay. This is Brianna Wu's husband. I asked Frank, and I have good news, Keffels. He says it's okay for white people to say noodles
Brianna
are
Wu.
tasty, since that includes spaghetti. You're
oh
free
no.
of this discourse. Like, nowhere in this tweet did
Brianna
it
Wu.
say that I called an Asian woman noodles. That's literally just noodles are tasty. This is also clearly a joke, not her giving you a pass. Yeah, everyone thinks that this discourse is really silly. But this amount of
It is.
dishonesty is shocking to me. September 2023, Sorrenti would return the favor after leaked DMs show Wu's unfettered transphobia. That's the thing that I'm getting at after this, so I'm gonna go past that. Because that's the next thing that I'm going to be talking about today. Because this was during the
I'm gonna be
first
talking about
wave of
Poland
people
after
leaving
this.
X, Sorrenti brought this with her to Blue Sky.
What?
At one point,
Poland.
she posted a variation of noodles are tasty a few times a day. This began in early July and continued through August, though her fans still do it. So we got the white leftist industrial complex video here.
Oh my gosh.
Encouraging people to fake marginalization and weaponizing
Is that
her
Merrick?
own to shut down dissent.
Marginalization.
Well, Noodlegate was among the longest running of
Noodlegate.
Sorrenti's extended racist campaigns. It's not the biggest this year. Her
Noodlegate.
toxic behavior in the first half of Black History Month in the US and Canada tired out many trans creators trying to call her in. Sorrenti encouraged people to play Hogwarts Legacy. No, I didn't. This literally links to the Mary Sue tag for Hogwarts Legacy. This isn't a citation of any.
I played Hogwarts Legacy. We've gathered $1,000 for a trans-related cause, okay? We did a whole
Was
fundraiser playing that game. Which, interestingly enough, after the fundraiser ended, I've never touched the game since. But that's a whole other story.
is it just because it's like really mid? Like I thought it would be.
I
That's why you
mean,
couldn't buy it?
I just didn't feel like continuing. Maybe one day.
That's fair.
We'll see.
Because of that 2000s filter on the screen. Why did they have to muddle the colors so much?
Okay, let's continue.
Anything that I said. I literally just said that I don't care if people play Hogwarts Legacy.
I did.
And I stand
For
by that. I
a
think that it was
fundraiser.
actually a pretty bad boycott. There was a lot of ways that that could have been done. So, among other reasons, the Hogwarts Legacy boycott's goal was to prevent gamers from financially benefiting well-documented transphobe and Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling. The Canadian streamer repeatedly gave non-trans people a pass to play on the basis that she's transgender. Let's see. This is about Hassan. I am not mentioned in the article.
I
Maybe
see.
name? Alright, let me try that. Clara. No, my
Oh.
name is not mentioned in the article either. Apparently, I gave non-trans people a pass to play on the basis that I'm transgender, which, as we've seen, there is no citation for this. Extending passes is a common Sorrenti deflection against criticism.
Oh.
Around this time, people asked her to stop saying the R slur, but Sorrenti claimed it was okay because she's autistic.
Yeah,
The
that's-
R slur thing goes to
Yeah.
the Special Olympics website and is not actually a citation of anything that I have said. It's
see.
not a tweet. It's not anything from any of my streams. It has nothing to do with any of the arguments that are being made against me.
So Bunny,
this
yeah.
comes up and has come up in the past as well, and I think you can just say retarded. Like, I think if we're gonna get to the point where we can't say that, we have to start cutting out other things in our vocabularies
Yeah,
that
like the
basically
other
mean the same
slurs
thing.
they're allowed to
Like, how
say.
is calling someone stupid worse than that? How is calling someone a moron worse than that? When they mean the same things in the context that they're used. I do think that Demon Mama made the best argument for it. You shouldn't let it be the go-to in your vocabulary because it's lazy. Like, I've definitely tried to cut back on saying it. There are a lot more creative ways to call
Gamer
someone
Mama is
stupid.
best.
Okay, so trans and autistic creator Jesse Earl as known as Jesse Gender,
Okay.
spoke out against Sorrenti for both undermining the boycott and being
Jesse
ableist.
Gender
That
fell
never
off
happened.
so hard.
Like, Jesse
True.
Gender never had a
True.
conversation with me about the R
Could you
slur.
pause it for a
Sorrenti responded by implying that Earl was contributing to transphobia.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure it was, like, she was, like,
I try to be nuanced.
doing pretty well, I thought.
Hmm.
I think, like, and then, like, she made,
Yes. And then she made. And then she made.
and then she made that one video, like, talking about, like, I remember she made a Vosh Bad video, and then everyone realized, oh, maybe she's not as based as we thought.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, I remember watching that entire Matt Walsh, like, series of videos that she made, and I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, I can agree with all of this.
Hmm. All right. Let's
Although I
see.
think she was too civil with him. She should have just called him all of the slurs,
I
well,
see.
like,
Okay, let's continue.
2 of the slurs she had in her vocabulary.
By focusing on Hogwarts Legacy, that trans people complaining about the game were making trans people look irrational and like killjoys. This was not only victim blaming, see the link. This is not anything that I said. Again, I did not say any
Oh my
of this.
gosh.
And there's no citation for me saying any of this. This was not only victim
Citation
blaming, but ignored the
bomb.
years of work Earl had done to dissect transphobic rhetoric and media with incredible
Need to
patience,
say-
empathy,
oh.
and humor. Sorrenti called her and others woke scolds and tenderqueers, synonymous with SJW and similar terms. Both words are popular among the online alt-right.
Mhm.
Tenderqueer is not a term popular among the alt-right.
Yeah.
The term tenderqueer originates from online queer spaces. It came from queer people on Tumblr. I've never heard anyone who is alt-right say the word tenderqueer. They just use slurs. Sorrenti encouraged viewers during a live stream to use diverse profile pictures to drown out
Oh.
criticism. So we got the
There's
infamous
one
Pick
citation.
Crew stream quote right here. The thing that drives me insane about this is that people have read into it what they want to read into it, where at the very end of this quote, it's someone asked me, does it matter which pick crew? And I say, no, just use a random one. But the more diverse, the better. Like, make it a black butch lesbian. I'm literally
Oh my
telling
gosh.
people to use a random one. And at multiple other points during that same stream, I said, here, use this random generator. Hit the random button. Someone actually in that stream asked me, is this pick crew too white? And I said, I don't care, use a random one. They always leave this part out because they're trying to build this narrative. Sorrenti would later claim this was caused by drugs and was being taken out of context. I said the more diverse the better and stumbled over my words trying to list off the different pick crews you could make because I was dangerously mixing drugs. I already admitted the pick crew thing was stupid, but how is 15 seconds of a 2-hour stream proof of your claim? I'm impressed at this point that an actual citation was used, but that said, let's just get back into it. This live stream has since been unlisted
advantage
or
of the
deleted.
medium.
When I watched the whole VOD months ago, it didn't make any difference. She still encouraged people to fake identities to undercut criticism against her. Also, this is on trend with her and others of the dirtbag left, trivializing people who speak candidly from a place of marginalization as if that's wrong. The dirtbag left linked to a Gwen Snyder tweet about the 2016 election. Okay, birthers turned into MAGA, Breitbart turned into MAGA, Fox News turned into MAGA, 4chan alt-right, Gamergate alt-right, Gamergate dirtbag left, alt-right turned into MAGA, 8chan Pizzagate, 4chan Pizzagate, MAGA Pizza. This is incoherent. But I don't think that I ever trivialize people who speak from a place of marginalization. I've always been pretty open to having conversations, even if they're
I'm back.
uncomfortable ones. However, as I said, even in this stream, a lot of people don't actually want to have dialogue. And that's been this ongoing frustrating thing where they see dialogue as some form of harassment, when I very much like to understand where people are coming from and how they arrive at the political positions that they're arriving at. This is the identical attitude of people who appropriated and lambast identity politics. Just like the word woke, using this to score social points shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how transphobia connects to other issues. Sorrenti fails to see how white supremacy is the root of transphobia, anti-blackness, queerphobia, etc. Or maybe she doesn't and thinks bigotry is fine if it's ironic. I'm asking this entirely in good faith because I've seen Rosalind make this statement before, but I do want to know, why is white supremacy at the root of transphobia? I actually don't understand how that is connected. I've never seen anyone elaborate on this point. I can understand making an argument that the tactics used in the current transphobia movement mirror the anti-black racism of the Jim Crow era, but I have no idea what the argument she would make here. I don't understand. Because I would really like that to be elaborated on, because I don't get how that's true. Okay, so now we're going into Vosh territory.
Vosh.
Yeah, like that whole claiming that, like...
Yes?
One type of
I
bigotry
cannot
is...
hear you.
Oh, the whole claiming one type of bigotry is, like, the same as other types of bigotry just seems a bit weird.
Yeah,
because like
it's,
yes, they are bigotry, that's true, but they don't.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think they root from the same place. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so either, to be honest. Yeah.
Claiming one type of bigotry is okay to fight against another. A week later, Sorrenti showed lack of understanding again following the murder of Brianna J.
Oh my gosh,
Accused of stabbing
this
the
thing.
16-year-old transgender girl in Britain on February 11th.
I know what this is
Following
about.
J's death,
I
various
know.
press chose to deadname and misgender her. Between this and popularization of the hashtag in 2020, people began to speak about her under hashtag #SayHerName and Rest in Power. After the 2015 so-called suicide of Sandra Bland, activists and the African American Policy Forum used the slogan to call attention to the murder of cis and trans black women, usually by police. Because this history is so public, many pushed back against the adoption of this phrase for Brianna J., a white teen. With intersectionality.
Even though actual... Yes?
Yeah, I actually talked about that with my friends in real life, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like when it was going on, because like like it's a tag does not belong to a specific group of people.
Right.
And plus, people claiming it was like just for black women who were murdered, or black and trans women who were murdered, is not quite the case, because originally, if they want to actually say what the original use of it was for like indigenous women who were murdered, and like the news didn't really call attention to that.
Yeah, and of course, yes,
tags can be adopted by other groups if it makes sense in that context. Like, people weren't saying her name, that's the whole reason.
Right.
It's stupid.
And of course the orgs in Britain, which include people of color, were perfectly okay with this.
I feel like the logical conclusion is that you should be able to use this phrase for all marginalized groups. I think it's really weird that people got so hung up on a hashtag and tried to derail people who were rightfully very upset about the murder of a transgender teenager. The reason I got so upset about it is because it felt like people were coming at this tragedy with the most discourse brain imaginable. I get so upset even seeing that people only talk about Brianna J. in relation to Twitter discourse. I feel like it's really dehumanizing. By February 12th, Dignity for Brianna took off as a more appropriate and specific marker to speak up about the transphobia Jay continued to face in death. Right on cue, Sorrenti defended the original hashtag usage by implying black people and transphobes were gatekeeping language. Her fans shared screenshots from a racist message board claiming the discourse was manufactured by transphobes to cause division. Be me, hear about the trans person who got stabbed, Rip Bozo.
Oh
Get
my
idea
God.
to make black people and trans people fight on Twitter.
Oh my
Log
God.
on to Twitter, post about how Say Her Name is only for black people who got killed by cops. Bigger accounts take the bait on both sides. The only way this can get better is if Keffels, and I guess I got dead named here, gets in on this. That wasn't my tweet and not an argument that I ever made. But they say, however, these images were dated 5 days after the discourse began on February 15th. That doesn't mean anything. You know, people could have not posted about it on 4chan and then later on admitted that they did that intentionally. But I do think that this actually points to the fact that so many people do not know how to actually have dialogue with each other, or people see
I know
conflict
dialogue.
as inherently
Isn't that right?
harassment and inherently abuse, when conflict is the focal point of politics. Like, you can't talk about politics without talking about conflict, and you need to be able to realize
I saw this
that
fragment.
you can have political disagreements without it being personal attacks on people. This is something that's been frustrating me to no end with progressive spaces, where you cannot be in conflict with another person over political issues without people thinking that that conflict itself is a harassment campaign of some sort. This false
I
flag
see.
claim was used to invalidate the thousands of people that real issue with the hashtag's misappropriation. It
Oh
also
my
fed
God.
into the tension between LGBTQ plus people and cis people of color, highlighted and worsened by transphobes like Dave Chappelle. Am I being blamed for Dave Chappelle now? I didn't even instigate this. Comparing this messaging to her criticism of the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, Sorrenti claimed that the focus should be on the material consequences of transphobia, true, like Jay's death, and not the language around it. Sorrenti used the same defense with their fellow edgelord leftist streamer Ian Kocinski Vosh, trans creators Kat Black and Natalie Wynn, as known as ContraPoints, called Kocinski out when he used ironic tactical misogyny towards J.K. Rowling. That's not the definition at all. Is this what they mean when they talk about women being hysterical? That's not even the right tweet.
That was
Instead of
true.
recognizing how misogyny goes hand in hand with transphobia, and that this would feed into the myth that trans people and their supporters are inherently misogynistic, Kocinski and Sorrenti claimed it was okay because Rowling deserves it. That's
I will
not
never
how that
not
works.
tweet it as
Where's the
Kocinski.
citation? So the citation that I said that Rowling deserved it is a Jessie Gender video with no timestamp either. 'Cause I wasn't even a part of that drama cycle. I didn't weigh in at all about what happened there with Vosh and
you pause
J.K.
it for a
Rowling.
second? That
I think
I
it's
respond to
actually
that
really
message.
misogynistic that people.
I'm sorry, what?
I've got to respond to a chat message. Jess, Vosh is not a chaser. Okay? He isn't. Alright, that's all.
Oh my goodness. Make the move instead of wishing. Make your reality happen.
Yeah.
Be the person who you want to
Becoming the chaser.
become. The no, don't become the chaser. Become the change that you want to see in the world.
But alas, I'm not a horse.
Oh my god.
People can't take
that's
me
fine.
on my own and evaluate my own opinions, and instead they bring up Vosh, and then they assume that I'm some sort of carbon copy of Vosh, where as a woman, I am not allowed to have any agency in this. I'm not allowed to have my own opinions. Apparently, I need to be in lockstep with Vosh, and that's
You
not
need to
true.
meet a
I disagree
horse
with
fairy.
Vosh on a lot of politics. We're not the same people. You know, the thing that I do respect about Vosh quite a bit, though, is that when I have a disagreement with Vosh, I can talk to him about it. And I have. And I know that other political streamers in the space have had disagreements and went to Vosh, and they didn't immediately
I'm sorry, what?
try to make it in.
What did you say? Sorry.
So I was saying Bosch is bad at Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
Remember when Keffels made like a 20-minute video where like
Yes,
the
I
last
remember.
minute or so she like actually got to the point?
Yes. I do remember that.
Into content either, because not every disagreement needs to be a public spectacle. The justification yet again fails to recognize how these systems of oppression intersect and come from the same root. This is why many have accused Sorrenti of continuing the long tradition of white feminism, albeit through an edgy, misogynist lens. I don't even think I've ever called myself a feminist before. Like, I'll be real. If the people who wrote this article are feminists, then I'm not a feminist, because I don't want my opinions
Oh
to
my
be
gosh,
like the type of
that's not
opinions
good.
you get from this website. I'm not against feminism either. I just think it's weird to say that I have positions that I don't. Alright, we're in the last section. Why it took so long for people to call Keffels out. There's several reasons it has taken people a long time to see the harm Sorrenti inflicts and the bigotry she fosters.
Oh my god.
Many took
Reign of
Sorrenti's
Terror.
word that the criticism came from transphobic forums. After all, the doxing Sorrenti faced was real and not an anomaly. Others like the edginess and see it as an acceptable coping mechanism against the bigotry she receives. Each time they choose to give Sorrenti the benefit of the doubt over mounting examples they choose to value her whiteness over the safety of marginalized people.
What?
Can we ever have this honest conversation about how much people inflate harm? What was the harm that I was doing? Where is this pain at scale and this immonsterable amount of harm that I have caused? Because I haven't seen it. They can't demonstrate the harm that I've done. They couldn't even in this article demonstrate.
Yeah, yes.
From what I've seen of people who hit on Keffels, they do not. Or like just in general.
Wait,
People
hit on
don't listen to
Keffels? You
what
mean...
comes first.
Sorry, hit on Keffels? What?
From what I've seen of people who like hit on Keffels or just watch Keffels in general, they usually don't like see her as white first, because generally they already come into it with like the knowledge that she is trans, and that might be wrong, but that's how I go into it, I guess. I don't know.
I see.
Like people, I would be
Wait,
feel weird if people
hit
say
on,
white
do you mean...
first.
By hit on, do you mean, I don't know, want to date her?
No, I said hate on, not hit
Oh,
on.
I heard hit on, okay? Oh my god.
Lucy, you're so silly.
People who hit on... I'm like, what?
It's no, we're not talking about what Boogie does with you in the general chat.
Boogie's not hitting on me. Okay, let's continue.
Sure.
Demonstrate exactly what I did. Yeah, like what Henny was saying. Earlier in this article, they said that my racism, ableism, and transphobia could fill a book, but then they said it's more useful to
though?
focus on individual examples, and then the example was noodles. I wanna address this sentence. This disappointingly includes important activists keeping up with anti-trans legislation like Aaron Reed and Alejandra Caraballo. So, Aaron Reed and Alejandra, they're not my friends. We haven't talked to each other in quite some
see.
time. They distanced themselves from me around February because of the mounting pressure to do so, and I don't blame them for that. I think that they're great activists. I think that they should do what they can in order to continue with their careers, because they're doing great work to support the trans community in the United States and abroad. I really don't like that people are bringing them into this. There are a lot of people, content creators and activists, who personally don't have an issue with me, but because of all of the hit pieces that have gone out about me and the
Brianna Wu
souring
thing is an
of
issue
public
for me.
opinion about me, they don't feel that they can have any sort of public relationship with me. And that's fine. I think that there is a benefit, actually, to the position that I inhabit because I can be more edgy. I can say things sometimes that are a bit more off the cuff. And a lot of people who are
I am
higher
edgy.
profile trans activists could not ever do that
Could you
unless
pause it
they
for a
want
sec?
to
Like
receive
that
the
un-
same
Yes.
treatment
unrelated
that
thing,
I
but, like,
did.
it's still
Even when
weird.
people recognize
I'm sorry, what?
So like, I actually saw. So like,
You saw me being edgy?
no. I'm trying to come up with the words. So I saw Keffels like commenting on like how the noodles are tasty. Drama has become like really stupid, and I think someone like just sent a picture from like when she did porn. Did she do porn? It was like a picture of her naked,
Okay.
like as a comment saying, "Still a man though." Like, what? That,
Okay.
Why would you send porn?
That's okay. Let's just continue.
Yeah, like, just stupid.
Sorrenti's racism and misogyny, many still hesitate to call her out. Some see the trauma faced by marginalizing others
It's probably
as the
from Kiwi
price and
Farms.
process of de-radicalizing
Probably.
former incels. I have never done this. I don't de-radicalize incels. That's never been a thing I've ever done. I don't know where this is coming from. I've never done content on incels ever. It's not like she's the only person or even the worst to do this among her peers. Who are my peers? The awkward Thanksgiving photo, yeah. We were all at the Progressive Victory event, and we got a photo
that looks
taken
tasty.
together.
Oh my God.
But Destiny and
That
I
looks
aren't
tasty.
besties because we are all working together for Progressive Victory. But that doesn't mean that we've done content together or that I've de-radicalized incels. And this is just a weird argument to make. She's never had a Nick Fuentes on her broadcast multiple times. That's true. However, others don't feel like marginalized people should have to put up with 4chan humor, but do live in fear. I would really also like to know what they mean by 4chan humor. Is it that there are Pepes in chat? Because then Hassan is also a 4chan humor streamer. Then literally
Hassan,
every
gross.
single Twitch streamer is part of 4chan humor.
Pinky and
They don't
Adele.
want the attention of a community nearly indistinguishable from those thriving at the height of Gamergate. This is an insane thing to say because they acknowledge that I was the target of a harassment campaign.
What
from
a
Kiwi
weird
Farms,
comic.
And a lot of the high-profile people in that harassment
What was
campaign were people who were high-profile during Gamergate. One of the biggest people who was harassing me last year was Mr. Medicare, who literally coined the term Gamergate. Where does this come from? Okay, so they included the Nazi phase comic. That's one thing that I found interesting about this article is that they just randomly throw in little pieces of media that has nothing to do with the actual article. Nazi phase by Nash Romy. I'm
Wow.
glad I cracked my egg or I would have been a white supremacist by now. I would have been so racist to you. I have never been on the right in my entire life, ever. I
Lucky.
was always
I was,
either a
like,
communist
right-leaning
or a
when I was
social
in middle
democrat.
school.
Like, I've always been like somewhere in
But I was a
between
kid, so
a social
I'd expect
democrat
kids
and a
to be
communist.
smart.
Like basically
That is such a
since I
weird
was
comic.
14. So I don't understand. I feel like this is a trope that constantly gets weaponized against trans women, like white trans women. This idea that white trans women, for some reason, are more predisposed towards being members of the alt-right and white supremacists, when that's not
That's-
true. A lot of the times, people do this intentionally in order to feel justified in attacking white trans people because they know that they're part of a marginalized group, so they have to focus on the fact that they're white. in order to get like a really good woke scold critique in. A few people have spent time explaining how Sorrenti and her peers uphold white supremacy while claiming to fight it. People like Taliesin, Jesse Gender, Soul Bunny, Foreign
Bunny.
Man in a
Soul
Foreign
Oh
Land,
my
and
God.
others.
Foreign
It's
Man.
all people
Gross
that have
people.
lied about me and tried to drag my reputation through the mud.
Foreign
In each of those
Man.
cases, they've faced harassment and content farming from Sorrenti and others. She uses
I
the
farmed.
same tactics mentioned above and more, while
And
feigning
more.
playing defense. So that's interesting because Foreign made a video about me unprovoked. Soul
Yeah.
Bunny made 2 videos about me unprovoked.
Yeah.
Jesse Gender, our falling out started because she boosted a
Foreign
video
man called
attacking me
Shark
made by
Hustler
FD Signifier,
in this
and
video.
then
I know,
has
right?
since
That's
promoted
wild
more
how people
and
can just
even
get away with
collaborated in other videos attacking me. And Taliesin started attacking me before I even knew who she was. These are also bigger content creators than me. Foreign is bigger than me. Jesse is bigger than me. A single tweet or video results in hours of videos and streams. Fans flood their communities demanding you to debate their fave. They want to see the spectacle and performance of watching their fave destroy someone with facts and logic, like they used to with the Daily Wire hosts. And that's where the article ends.
Ew, Daily
The
Wire,
article
we hate Daily
ends
Wire.
with
Daily Wire
me
cringe.
getting compared to a
Hmm.
Daily Wire host.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
how the
It
fuck does that
really
even work?
disappoints me how much wanting to have open dialogue with people
Wow.
is seen as wanting to epically own them with facts and logic and destroy them. I would
I'll
love
destroy
to have conversations
them with
that are
facts and
difficult
logic.
to have with people who absolutely despise me. I think that would be really interesting. More than anything, I want to build bridges. I want to be able to work with people even when people have disagreements with me. Like, this isn't something that a lot of people who consider
Literally Ben
themselves
Shapiro, I guess.
progressives
I
or
don't fucking know.
leftists think is acceptable. They want to frame everyone who they agree with on probably 99% of issues as some sort of villain and just completely demonize them.
Yeah.
'Cause this isn't disagreement, this is demonization. I mean, yeah, this is a hit piece. There's so much intellectual dishonesty in this entire article, and the timing of this is no coincidence. Like, this article came out right after I ended up appearing in the Washington Post because I was going to be talking to Ro Khanna alongside Vosh and Destiny and Emma Vigilant, but I got COVID. And people saw that there was an uptick in me getting mentioned in the mainstream media again, and they're like, all right, what can we do to drag her name through the mud? It's also pretty rare to see these people use their articles to
Zandahal.
move people towards political action. Yeah, I mean, what's the takeaway from this? The takeaway is
Where is
literally
Zandahal
just
in
that
this
I
chat?
suck. It should have a conclusion. I feel like I would
What?
even respect it a bit. if
Zandahal
the
is not in the
conclusion
chat.
was how to advance.
What? Yes? What
Wait.
happened?
Did you mean in this chat? I'm confused.
I said that Sandra Hall should be in this chat, but he's not.
Yeah, he should,
Disappointing.
but,
Disappointing.
yeah, we can't. Yeah. Too bad, huh?
Hello, Greater Range.
Any sort of political cause instead of just being a hater. I'm gonna have opinions that people in my own audience don't agree with too. I accept that.
What?
All of the stuff that happened, which I'm gonna get into, like the stuff with Brianna Wu
Oh my
and the group
gosh.
chat leak and everything, people in Catboy Ranch were pretty heated. But if there's anything that I respect about this community, it's that people were willing to actually push back and have a dialogue about it. I actually really like that. That's a great thing. You should be able to have a disagreement with someone. I'm not going around like purging the community of people that disagree with me.
I'm
I
like.
think it goes to show it's actually way more
saw it.
productive to just talk about this stuff than to blast each other on social media forever. I mean, yeah, there's a reason why I've cut back like quite significantly on my social media presence. Social media, especially Twitter, it boosts outrage and it fuels division that doesn't need to happen.
True.
Yes.
I guess that's it. That's it for the video. So,
I really
any
didn't have that much to like add there.
any closing thoughts?
Uh,
Yes.
Shit, I just froze. Like and subscribe for part 5. Hit that bell icon. Uh, what else do YouTubers say?
Alrighty. So I'll see you. Yes.
Lick that share button.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye. I'm gonna enter the game.
Do you need my links again?
How do you exit the game?
You just press
Oh.
ESC to
Okay.
make your mouse available.
So bye
and
bye.
then you
I'll
press the
see you.
X
Okay.
in the corner. Bye, I guess.
Bye bye.
I'll post my links again.
Okay. So we're out of the game. Do not lick the button. Correct.